Hello and welcome back to 365 Days with mxmtoon. I'm Maia, a singer, songwriter, video maker, Oakland native, and Santa's helper. I'm also a big fan of history. I love untold stories, gross facts, hidden secrets, and anything weird, dark, and merry from the past. And each day I'm going to share a few of my favorite deep cuts with you, so let's take a look at today's stories, and happy Christmas Eve.
It's 365 with mxmtoon. New facts every day, so don't leave too soon. I'm gonna teach you stuff, no it won't be tough. Gonna go a year till you've had enough. It's 365 mxmtoon.
Today, in 1955, CONAD, the Continental Air Defense Command, started their Santa tracking service. What is that? Well, let's reverse and find out.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas.
About a month before Christmas, on the last day in November in 1955, the red phone rang at CONAD. This is usually not good news. CONAD was the headquarters of America's nuclear defense, and any unexpected call could be a harbinger of disaster. The red phone was supposed to be a top-secret hotline, not a phone for regular calls. Air Force Colonel Harry Shoup anxiously answered the phone. "Yes, this is Colonel Shoup." The voice on the other end of the line said, "Are you really Santa Claus?" Shoup looked around the room, trying to identify who might be pranking him. He expected only news of catastrophe on the red phone, and didn't think that joking around about it was very funny at all. Shoup harshly asked the caller to repeat themselves, and realized it was an actual child when the actual child started crying on the other end of the phone. Feeling guilty, Shoup, himself a father of 4, quickly shifted his voice to the familiar, jolly Claus intonation and asked the child for a Christmas list. He then asked to talk to the kid's mom. The mother told Shoup that her child had called the number because it was listed as Santa's phone number in a Sears Roebuck ad in a local newspaper, which was the name of a popular department store chain. Alright then, the ad said that the children could call Santa on his private phone line and listed the number, but they got the number off by 1 digit, and it turned out that Sears and the secret CONAD hotline were only 1 number apart. After that first kid, the calls kept pouring in. Shoup called his phone company and asked them to give Sears his secret phone number and get a new one for CONAD, but it took a few days to make that change, so the Air Force men were stuck acting as Santas for a whole couple of days. The employees of CONAD started joking around because when the unit was founded, they were supposed to be looking for an aerial attack from the Soviet Union, and sometimes called it scanning the skies for red. They definitely didn't have a red-suited Santa Claus in mind, but the whole incident gave the employees an idea to help kids have a little extra fun in the holiday season, and make their image to the public a little less, nuclear war scary, and more, Santa funny, cute. They issued a press release for newspapers nationwide on Christmas Eve telling all the good little boys and girls that it was tracking a red sleigh approaching from the North Pole. They said that Santa Claus was traveling at 45 knots per hour at an altitude of 35,000 feet. The men added a little note that reminded children that the American forces would guard Santa and his sleigh on his trip to and from the U.S. against possible attack from those who do not believe in Christmas. Though children might not actually get the reference, it also served as a reminder to parents that forces were really out there to look for communists from the atheist Soviet Union. On Christmas Eve, Shoup went to visit his troops. On the big map of the states at the Operations Center, someone had sketched Santa coming down from the North Pole. Shoup loved the look of it, and the Santa tracker was born. That night, he called into a local radio station to say that they'd spotted a sleigh in the sky. Other radio stations called in for updates, and every year they kept the tradition going. People started calling Shoup the Santa Colonel. His kids said that he loved Christmas and loved getting invested in the holiday, both at home and on the job. In 1958, NORAD took over the Santa tracker. As at-home technology advanced, so did the Santa tracker. In the 60s, NORAD mailed vinyl records to radio stations that featured reports on Santa's whereabouts, and in the 70s, they made television commercials. Today, you can look at Santa's progress on the NORAD Tracks Santa website, or through a specific app. You can even ask your Alexa for Santa's whereabouts. Every year, 1,500 military and civilian volunteers, including Shoup's daughter, man the phones in Colorado, answering questions about Santa's whereabouts. How's that for a Merry Christmas? Today, in 2014, it was a very important day for fans of BTS, or as they call themselves, ARMY. On December 24th, 2014, BTS released their first full-length Japanese studio album, Wake Up. Some places it's listed as their 4th album overall in Japanese, but this is actually the first one that BTS considers as their first Japanese language album. Soon after they left on their first Japanese concert tour, Wake Up, Open Your Eyes. I have been a member of ARMY since 2014, and so it was really exciting for me when they announced their tour in Japan, and as I'm sure it was for many, many other ARMY out in the world. But it was so cool seeing the progression of BTS being massive in South Korea and then gigantic in Japan and then coming overseas to Western media in the United States and sticking here. And I think I just remember feeling so proud of them and being like, oh my gosh, the boys, they're getting so big now. And I remember when they went to the Billboard Awards for the first time, I was so proud of them. My heart was so full. And I think seeing their progression and how much of a worldwide phenomenon they have become has been incredible. And I'm sure so many other ARMY can relate to that feeling of just watching them progress and continue to be better every single time they do something. And for today's final segment, I'm going to be going back into my photo archives to see what I was up to on a Christmas Eve in my life. On Christmas Eve, December 24th, 2019, just last year, I was home, done with tour, had just gotten back from the UK, or kind of, but not recently, but kind of. I went to our family friend's house and I played board games. And my family doesn't, we celebrate Christmas, but I wouldn't say it's very intense or anything. We get each other gifts sometimes, and we wake up and we play board games together. And board games is kind of like my family's tradition that we do. And so we have these family friends that live really close by to us that we go and play board games with very often compared to any other family that we play board games with. But we did that on Christmas Eve last year, and I just really miss being able to gather with the people in my life that I just haven't been able to see in a really long time, like many other people, I'm sure. So whoever you're with for Christmas this year, or whoever might not be there, I hope you are able to feel love regardless of where you are and can look forward to the new year and reflect upon some of the good parts of this year, even though there's been a lot of difficult ones too. Come back tomorrow for more weird and funky facts, and please subscribe on your favorite podcasting devices. I'll talk to you then.
It's 365 with mxmtoon. New facts every day, so don't leave too soon. I'm gonna teach you stuff, no it won't be tough. Gonna go a year till you've had enough. It's 360